Hi, this is Mr. Karabi from the Arts Academy of Benjamin Rush in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this lesson video goes with the lesson about PISES, P-I-S-E-S, which is on the very first day of instruction for class, um, talking about the difference between health and wellness. So, without further ado, let's get started. So this is my health class website. I put the earpiece on so that you can be able to see it. So we have to go and check out health class first. Okay. And then we're going to go to wellness. There's a couple ways to do that. You can click on the wellness and core concepts here because it says it's the current unit. Or you can go to the wellness unit here and scroll down until you get to the point that says PISES. Or you can find it up here. You can just go click wellness and click PISES. So that's how we're going to do it right now. On the PISES page, there's a table of contents telling you what's on the page, and we're going to check out and see what PISES is. But instead of just looking at this, we're going to look at the first slideshow. So let's open it up. On the first day of class, you were given a question, and not the first day of class where I gave you the syllabus, but on the first day of instruction. So for the fall 2020 semester, we're talking on Thursday, the first Thursday of class. And you were asked to define in your own words the words healthy or health and the word wellness. And if you're looking at this for the first time, you can pause the video and write the answers down in your notebook or figure out an answer. And if you were in class already and you're just doing this for a review, you'll notice that the definition of healthy is that you're free from disease. You're basically not sick. And in class, I said, when you go to the doctor and you're going for a physical, they ask you how you're feeling, and you're all talking about your body. And then they check your temperature, and they check your heart rate, and they check your blood pressure, and they check your breathing, and they give you a temperature check. And if everything checks out, then you're healthy and you're on your way. But wellness is so much more. And lately, within the last 5 years or so, doctors have been becoming more aware of the other areas of wellness. Our school this year in the entire Philadelphia School District is talking about 2 other areas of this wellness, and we're going to get to that in a moment. So wellness is optimum health, so the best health that you can be at in each area, in all areas. So the next question, of course, in class is what are the areas? And in class, since this is review, we put 5 letters up on the board, or in the virtual setting, you saw these 5 letters here. And I asked you what each letter stood for. Some people were able to answer right away because they had previewed the class webpage, and other people, they didn't know yet because they hadn't looked, so that's okay. So if this is your first time seeing it, pause it and try to figure out what they are. Okay, so in review, the P stands for physical, the I stands for intellectual, the S stands for social, the E stands for emotional, and the last S stands for spiritual. Now, we're going to get into each one a little bit, but I just want to point out a couple things. One, the school district is focusing on social and emotional a lot this year. You're going to see classroom meetings during advisory. You're going to see a lot of your teachers asking you how you're doing, how you're feeling. They're going to ask you to do a number, hold up a finger, 1 to 5 in the Zoom or the Google Meets, or thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, things like that. And they're going to really be looking at how are you doing emotionally and how are we going to connect still, even though it's a virtual environment. So that's something that we're going to be looking at a lot as we move on. Traditionally, physical, emotional, and social sections of health go in like this pyramid triangle, but it's more of a wellness wheel. And on the website, you can find wellness wheels from Clarion, from Northwest Missouri State, and from Princeton. And you can also click here or just go a Google search yourself, and you can find a variety of wellness wheels, and a lot of them have other sections to them too. We'll talk about those in a moment. So in order for a wellness wheel to work, you have to realize that it all works together. If one area is out of whack, then the rest of you is going to be out of whack. So if you're sick, it's going to take away from your ability to learn. But also, if you are emotionally distressed, if you're having an issue that is emotional, you might not be able to learn as well. So that might affect the intellectual. You might not want to be around people, so that affects the social part. It might affect your behavior, so that's the spiritual part. Or it might make you feel physically sick. A lot of you in 11th grade should know this, but we're going to talk about the effects of stress. And one of the effects of stress are physical manifestations of the anxiety that you're feeling. So upset stomachs and butterflies and sweats and changes in body temperature and jitters. And we're going to talk about those later in the year. A lot of people ask, how important are they? And you can read the top of it, but the short version, without me reading the top of it for you, is that they're all equally important. You could argue that one area is more important than the others. And on one of the slides, I suggest that one area is more important than the others for you at your age. But in reality, they're all equally important. That's why it's a wheel. It rolls and there's no top and there's no bottom. So this is something to consider of. I did mention that there's other wellness wheels out there. And when you Google wellness wheel, you're going to find other pictures that include also educational, environmental, occupational, or financial health in terms of areas that you should be able to take part in. Financial health doesn't mean that you're rich. It means that you know how to handle the money that you have. My wife would say that I'm not financially healthy because even though I make a good paycheck, I spent a lot of it. So I put myself in a position that I have a lot of bills and have a lot of debt. So I'm not financially healthy. Occupational healthy would be like on the workplace, so safety in the work area, dealing with stress in the work area. Environmental health can be talking about the environment itself, such as dealing with a blizzard or dealing with a hurricane or dealing with too hot, humid day or dealing with the rain. But it could also be us with the environment. So protecting it in terms of recycling and trying to cut down on waste and trying to protect the waters. And then educational healthy, it's sort of the same as intellectually healthy, but it's specifically about learning. So that's something that we should take into consideration. And you can learn more about those on your own if you choose to. We only focus on the top 5. So I am not going through these particular slides on the video slowly. You can pause it if you want to. But basically, physical means your body. The I, intellectual, is your mind, your thoughts, your thinking process. The social section is your relationships and group interactions. If you go to this slideshow on your own, again, it's right here, you can see 2 embedded videos on this next page, which gives you a virtual example of socially healthy when the Eagles score versus socially healthy at a movie theater, along with what happens if you're not socially healthy at a movie theater. Okay, emotional health is how you express your feelings, cope with life's difficulties, manage your stress, and your sense of who you are, your identity. That's all part of your emotional health. Some people would argue that the sense of self would go to intellectual health or social health, and that could be a valid argument if you wanted to support that. It's arguably the most important. I should probably fix that last T before I teach this again, but it's arguably the most important for your age to be able to deal with because it's the one thing you can't tangibly touch. And it's the one thing you don't have like a grade for. Spiritual health, a lot of people right away think religion, but it's not. It's your values, your morals, your virtues, your belief. It's what's right and wrong in different situations. A future video will go and tell you all about the spiritual health section and how you come across and learn about that. It's arguably the most dangerous, and we're going to leave the rest for a different video. So if you have any questions and you're part of my class, email me or message me on Google Classroom. If you have any questions and you're not from my class, watch the video again or go to my webpage and check it out. For now, signing off. Thanks.